All right, just want to welcome you to the Broadview Hotel and to the historic Flapper Tour. My name is Tricia, and as you can see from my badge, I've been here 86 years.
The second you enter the lobby of the Broadview Hotel, it feels like you're taking a step back in time.
We always start the tour in the bar. Follow me.
Oh, of course. How can you start the tour at the bar?
When you're in a hotel built during Prohibition, where else would you start your tour? This hotel has surprises around every corner.
Here we are in Chisholm's Bar and Grill, and we're just going to turn some lights on. And the reason why we're in Chisholm's Bar and Grill is for a few reasons, actually. Chisholm's Bar and Grill was named after Jesse Chisholm. Before this hotel was built, the Chisholm Trail actually went directly through this area here.
Back in the 1920s, Chisholm's Bar was not a bar. It was actually a store. The building was originally designed to house businesses on the majority of the first floor, but the employees who worked in them weren't always what they seemed. The barber wasn't just the barber.
After he did a few haircuts, he went down the secret stairs, down under into the hotel, which used to be a speakeasy. It would seat 600 people gambling and drinking underneath this area here.
As you'll see, this hotel is just full of tunnels and secret passageways.
There are about 4 or 5 different entrances down into the speakeasy.
One of those passageways is located here, under what's now the executive sales office.
And as you can see, it's pretty well hidden. So underneath here we found old liquor bottles and old paintings.
This stairway is located just across from the current bar.
These steps have been here for 86 years, so go slowly.
Although the basement is now used as a laundry room and storage area, you can still see the remnants of its glory days.
Just look above you here. The whole of the speakeasy with the crown molding was completely finished. You've got everything of the olden days popping their way through, but look down on the floor too. The whole of the speakeasy was covered with this beautiful flooring. And as we go around the speakeasy, you can see glimpses of the old days gone by. Look at the meticulous way it's been finished, right? How straight these lines are.
Although much of its history has been preserved, things have changed over the years.
Down in the speakeasy, you'll see that there are pipes that come through the ceiling and through the crown molding. And that's because over the years, electricity and gas and all these new things that you had to have came through during the time of the Broadview. We're in a certain part of the speakeasy. Again, you've got to just forget all these pipes, because over the years, pipes have come through. But the barber, he used to come scurrying down these steps, and if you look at those steps, they're grandfathered in. There's no way you could build a building now, today, with steps so many in and so high. But he'd come scurrying down here, right down here beside the boiler, and out through an entrance that led through to the tunnel. We don't clean anything up because this is all original. Very carefully down here, make sure you don't fall in the sump pump. And this is where the barber used to come down the side here alongside the old boiler. And then the barber would come down here, and supposedly that's the start of the secret tunnel that led to the forum through there.
George Seethoff I was the builder. They broke ground on this hotel in 1921. Broadview officially opened its doors May 15, 1922.
Interesting, and there is another entrance coming down, that they could come down from the hotel.
Even with all the secret passageways that were included, it still only took about 7 months to finish it.
Right here, you've got some more secret steps that suddenly lead back up again into the hotel that's been covered over. And in there, supposedly, is Al Capone's room, where he used to gamble and drink.
The Broadview cost about $400,000 to build, and its owners spent another $100,000 to furnish it.
This is another entrance into the speakeasy, and we're on the Delano district side. So the river is like 2 minutes away from this door here. And they would come across the river, or they would come through a secret tunnel, which is supposedly here on the right-hand side, which has been concreted off, but Funnily enough, the concrete is starting to crumble, and it would be really neat to see what's in there. This particular tunnel on the right here doesn't go under the river, but I've been told that there is another tunnel that did go under the river.
The police officers would they knew what was going on, but they didn't really do anything about it. Why was that?
Well, they were apparently just as corrupt as what was going on in this hotel.
The action wasn't just downstairs. The upstairs had a lot to offer as well.
And then if you wanted to dance the night away and have dinner, you'd go up to the 8th floor, which used to be the longest wooden rooftop garden this side of the Mississippi. And you would pay $1.50 for a 12-course meal and an additional 50 cents to dance the night away with a 12-piece band up there. It was the in place to come.
Here you could get a 12-course meal for $1.50. Then for 50 cents more, you could dance the night away accompanied by a 12-piece band.
And June 1, 1922 is when everybody came up the elevators and they had the first formal night here. They lit up all the rooms, they lit up the sign, and that was the grand opening of the Broadview Hotel.
This is what the area looks like today.
And when they did the renovations of the hotel, they actually enclosed a lot of the 8th floor ballroom dancing area and made them into suites.
In 1948, this ballroom was added to the west side of the hotel. Its walls covered in this amazing mosaic created by renowned American Indian artist Black Bear Boson.
It starts in the very far corner with a buffalo, then you've got the Indian on horseback, then you've got the monks and priests, and then behind that curtain you've got civilization coming to town, and then behind here you've got more civilization. It carries on to the next panel, you've got the railroad, and in the very far panel you've got saloons and cowboys. This depicts the history of Kansas, the evolution of Kansas. And there are 50 different colors of mosaic pieces to make up this mosaic, 50 different colors. It took almost 11 years to do.
This artwork covers about 1,500 square feet and is the largest continuous mural in Kansas. The Historic Trust Fund recently said this masterpiece cannot be removed.
And a lot of people, even the people that live in Wichita, have not seen this. It's not publicized, very little is done, but this is probably worth more than the hotel. It's absolutely amazing.
What would a hotel like this be without a resident ghost?
Our resident prankster, Clarence, will sometimes call up to 80 times a night to the front desk using the phone from the bar. And the bar on a late night will close at 2 o'clock in the morning, but this will often happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes he'll go as far as calling 911, and 911 will call us and say, what's the emergency? And we'll look in the computer, see nobody's here, and we'll just have to say, I'm sorry, it's Clarence. And they go, oh, that's okay. Follow me.
While we were shooting, we had something unusual happen as well. Listen closely, and you'll hear a door slam. A door no one was near at the time.
This whole room was filled with doors and old furniture from a Miami hotel. And
Okay, that creeped me out.
and
Scary, okay.
and
Having Clarence around can cause a few problems when it comes to retaining employees.
behind these doors here is our kitchen. And if you look on our website, we have a high turnover of dishwashers because sometimes they feel that they're being assisted with the dishes. Sometimes it's clean dishes, sometimes it's dirty dishes, and nobody's eaten here.
Employees aren't the only ones who feel the effect of Clarence's pranks, though. Guests do too.
He'll move things in bedrooms and put it somewhere else. We had somebody that turned on their TV, and it was unusual because he had unplugged his TV to plug in the iron, and suddenly it turned on. There'll be things that will be thrown off the bed, books, and we had this guy put books back on again, and they got thrown off again. And there are too many unexplained happenings for it not to be believed upon. Now, the story about Clarence is that apparently he did used to work here, and he found his wife having an affair with a guest, and apparently he shot and killed her, and then he threw himself off the balcony. There is only one room in the hotel that has a balcony, and I'm not going to tell you the number of that room.
We will tell you that the hotel gets a lot of reservations on Halloween and Friday the 13th because of that. Clarence isn't the only famous person to have set up residence here. Through the years, President Roosevelt, the Smothers Brothers, George Foreman, and even Charles Lindbergh have stayed in these rooms.
He flew from the East Coast to the West Coast. He made a stop in Wichita. He spent the night at the Broadview Hotel.
Charles Lindbergh isn't the only guest who had a past based in aviation. Walter Beach had a rather interesting history here as well.
And he was challenged to take off from the top of the hotel, and he was stopped about 5 minutes from actually taking off. He built a ramp from the roof to take off from the top of the hotel and fly down Douglas.
At one point, this hotel was very close to being knocked down, but thanks to employees who wanted to save it, it'll be around for years to come.
Say, apparently, because it's a brick building, that if the moon's in a certain place and the stars are shining and the wind's blowing, that it will hold in all the sounds of all the years, and that as the years go past, more sounds will keep coming out, but who knows, right? You're now part of the history of the hotel, and we want you to keep coming back and keep saving the hotel because it's got lots of fond memories.